Well, welcome to the American Heart Association Science News. Today I'm here with Jose Diaz from the University of Michigan, as well as Matt Allison from the University of California, San Diego. And we'll be talking to you today about the new Frontiers in Science program in vascular disease. I am the chair of the program, and my colleagues here are co-moderators who have put together the program over the past several months or so. And so we'll be talking about what the program is, what's new about it, what's exciting, why you should come and attend. So why don't I start with Matt here. Matt, why don't you tell me how we came about to where we are today and how we chose the topics for this novel session?
So as you mentioned, Aruna, several months ago we started discussing this topic and how we can make something that's impactful and interesting to the audience that's new. And the way we formatted this program was short topics, short discussion items by the presenters, followed by a moderated open discussion that's going to be longer than usual so the audience can participate more readily in the discussion. And we have some very interesting topics in the sessions that I'm going to be moderating on epidemiologic cohort studies. We have international speakers, individuals from Europe and the United Kingdom. We have topics that range from lower extremity peripheral arterial disease and subclavian disease and aortic disease. And as I was mentioning before, it's going to be very short presentations with a lot more discussion and moderated discussion so that the audience can really participate more.
So who should come to this session?
So I think that if anyone who's interested in peripheral vascular disease, you should come to this session. If you do population-based studies in peripheral vascular disease, you'd want to come. Clinical research in peripheral vascular disease is relevant. And then if you're a trainee and are interested in peripheral vascular disease and maybe more specifically arterial disease, this is a way of maybe learning what's coming and what's new, and that may help you develop your research portfolio or your ideas for what you're going to do in research as you start to launch your career.
Right, and I think what's also very novel as you constructed the session was to get speakers to talk about what's going on in their lab and
Exactly.
their own research group and what kinds of problems they're facing in determining whether it be novel risk factors for any of these disorders, AAA, vascular disease, what actually is holding the research back, if anything, and keeping them from moving forward.
If I may, an example of that would be our second speaker is going to be Jerry Fowkes from the United Kingdom. And he's going to talk about problems that he's encountering in trying to merge these population-based studies so you can actually try to answer questions from not just within the United Kingdom, but how is the problem answered from more a global perspective.
That's right. Perfect. All right, Jose, what are we doing in your session?
Well, we will try to discuss modeling, how we can model the diseases. And particularly the session is divided in two. Models from venous thrombosis and models from AAA. I have the opportunity to invite leaders in the field, and we expect to have a very nice session, very informative. I hope trainees that are here can come, and also the physicians, because it's interesting to understand from their own leaders how we try to model the diseases and how to put this in practice in order to understand the disease from the basic science point of view. It's interesting to have a very nice model that allow us to perform the research and interpret our results, very much focusing each of these two diseases.
Yeah, so optimizing these models as well. And I think what's really unique about the session as well is that if an epidemiologist happens to stay for the venous model or a AAA model session, we can start asking questions about why risk factors may be different for one disease or another. What does smoking exposure do to a model of AAA, for instance? Does it have an impact? And what types of therapies that we've tested in our epidemiologic studies may reverse with therapies that you might expose in the models that you're testing.
That's
so
true.
I think that's a fantastic way to get people from both sides of the spectrum to meet together and spend a good 2 hours or so listening to each other's perspectives and the types of methodology that might or might not be translated between the two groups.
Yeah, I'm very much looking forward to see what happens tomorrow, and I hope we can enjoy it, because I'm ready for it.
Excellent. All right, well, thank you all for listening to our discussion of this new forum we'll be having tomorrow at 2 o'clock. It's a Frontiers in Science session, and I hope you'll all come and join us at that session. Thank you.